What if I told you by asking myself this simple question, I was able to go from posting once every single week to posting almost 4 times a week? I remember this one time I was sitting in my room in this exact chair and I just hit the finish to record button and I turned to look at my screen and I see that I've already recorded 3 videos in just one morning. Something that I would have never been able to say just a few days ago. And the main issue that I had and people have is that they keep thinking that they need to add more and more stuff to their routine. Like, I used to have this mindset like, what is that one thing that the billionaire is not doing that I need to add to my routine? Like, we constantly focus on adding to our routine instead of just focusing on subtracting and just focusing on the most important task of the day. Imagine you're building a bridge, but you have to select a few right materials to build this bridge so it's light and it actually works and it stays sturdy. But instead, you're focusing on what do I add and add. But when you focus on adding to this bridge, it just gets heavier and heavier and heavier and eventually just breaks. That's kind of the same with productivity. It's not about adding more and more and more. It's about kind of just focusing on the one things that are really, really important. And the question is, if we only had 2 hours to work in a week, what would we do? So for example, for me, if I only had 2 hours to work in a week, I'll be recording videos and scripting videos. That'll be the only 2 things that I'll be focusing on because those are the 2 things that are going to move me forward. Just ask yourself this question: what are the 2 things that I need to do so my business or my studies or whatever you're focusing on moves forward? And now that you have the answer, you will have the issue that you'll be doing all these micro different tasks that feel productive. Like, I don't know, you wake up, you check your phone, you see whether you wake up right now or you wake up later, you check your computer, you see what clothes you're gonna wear, you go to the bathroom, you eat your breakfast, you do all these things, you go to school. You've already used a lot of your brain power. So now you only have like 40% of your brain power, as you've used all your brain power in school and deciding what outfit you're going to wear in all these tiny different areas. Because the issue is like, we kind of know what we need to do now, but the issue is actually doing it. And a solution to this, instead of kind of using all your power through the day and only having like 40% left, where you know how you have that feeling that you don't really want to do the most important task in your day. For example, for me, it would be like recording and scripting. For you, it could be like something that's going to move you forward. When you don't feel like doing it, when it feels impossible, it is probably because you don't have enough energy to do it. It's because you've already used all your energy in these tiny little micro tasks, and you've already gone to school and you've already kind of used all your power, and now you can't even focus on the work because you don't have enough energy to do so. So the solution to this would be eating the frog. So imagine if you had a frog for dinner. Would you eat it before or after? Well, the correct answer will always be before, because you can also imagine if you eat the dinner now, it's gonna feel tasty, it's gonna feel nice, but you're always gonna have the demon telling you that you're gonna have to eat that frog later. So you're eating it, looking at that frog, almost kind of like scared, almost kind of tense, not really wanting to eat that frog. You know, you're not really enjoying your meal because you're focused on the frog instead. But if you just kind of stuff the frog into your mouth as quick as possible, you chew it, it's gonna be like slimy and everything, you swallow it. But now, since you've done something really hard, everything throughout your day is gonna feel easier. So when you eat this frog, the dinner is just gonna taste even better. It's gonna feel even easier. And even after you've eaten that frog, your taste buds are gonna, of course, taste like slime, like disgusting slime. So when you eat that dinner again, when it's like that tasty pudding, then it's gonna cleanse your taste buds and you're gonna feel even better. So you kind of end it like a high note. And most people have the issue that they know what they want to do with the day, but they just kind of keep looking at that frog. The frog is kind of representing the most important task in your day. They keep looking at that frog. They'll say, oh, I'll do it at 1 p.m, I'll do it at 2 p.m, I'll do it at 3 p.m. And then when they've already kind of scrolled on their phone, they've already gone to school, they've already gone to work, they've already kind of done everything throughout their day, they don't have enough energy for it. And then they just say, oh, I'll do it tomorrow. And then the cycle keeps going. They say, I'll do it tomorrow, I'll be really productive tomorrow, it'll be a productive day, I'll wake up, I'll take a cold shower, I'll run 1 mile, then I'll do the deep work frog. And then what they do is they wake up, they snooze, and they wake up like at 9 a.m. and they're like, nah, the next day, I promise you, the next day will be productive. And it's just a cycle of cycle. So what you want to do is you wake up and just stuff this frog as fast as possible into your mouth. And then now that you've done this, you kind of have this peace knowing that you've done the most productive thing through your day. So now you can just kind of do whatever you want throughout your day. Do the hardest thing first, and then your day just feels easier. It's kind of like going to the gym. It's like you go to the gym and it feels hard, of course, that your muscles ache, there's pain in your shoulders. But then after you finish the gym, you kind of feel that testosterone boost. After a few months, you're gonna see the results in your muscles. And it is because you went through the pain to be able to get the rewards. And it's kind of like going through the pain of eating the frog first, so you kind of get these massive rewards throughout your day. So you don't have to worry about this mental demon who's telling you that you need to eat that frog later. And if your school starts early, you're gonna have to wake up 2 to 1 hour before school. So for example, I used to wake up at 7 a.m. and my mom would wake me up, she'll come into my room, she'll knock on the door, she'll wake me up, she'll kind of shake my foot, and I'll wake up, I'll kind of be like a zombie. I'll change clothes, I'll go downstairs, I'll eat the breakfast, I brush my teeth, and I go to school. But obviously after I've done all of that, I've already used all my power in the morning, and during school where I'm using all my brain power to do the work, was it a surprise that when I go back home I just didn't feel like doing anything? The only thing that I felt like doing was watching content, and what I didn't realize at the time is because I didn't have enough energy to do so. All my energy was used in the morning and during school. So when I got back home, there was nothing to be used. There was not enough energy to do the most important thing. So I've started to wake up at 6 a.m. and every single day I'm able to get 45 minutes to 1 hour of Eat the Frog time. This is like kind of my sacred time where my parents are awake, my brother is still asleep. So everything is quiet. Nobody's anywhere. So I'm just focused, fully focused on my work, and I'm able to script and almost record a video before school. And you can almost imagine, if you were able to do your most important task before school, you will carry out this massive confidence to school, because you're kind of putting your chest out, knowing that you've done something in your morning, and you kind of know that you're actually doing more productive things than the guy over there in your class. So whenever you get back from school, you don't have to think, oh, I'm gonna have to do this Eat the Frog task now. You kind of eat it in the morning, you go to school, and then you just happy throughout your day. And you can go out with your friends, you can do these things, you can explore, you can go out, you can read books in peace, instead of having to worry about you growing your business or growing your studies. And even if you have at least like 30 minutes to 1 hour of Eat the Frog time, that's totally fine. Because even though it might not seem like a lot, you'll get a lot done compared to when you're just waking up, going to school. You're actually waking up, doing a bit of work, you do your morning routine, you eat breakfast, and then you go to school. Doing that tiny section of fully focused work where you're actually using your full power and you're actually using all your mana points on the right tasks, on the things that are actually going to benefit you. And that task, the Eat the Frog task, will be the question that you just ask yourself. If I only had 2 hours to work in a week, what would I do? And what you also want to do is plan the day before. So for example, before you're going to go to bed, you write down 3 points on your iPhone notes or in some sort of note-taking app, and you write down 3 points that you're going to do. You say you're going to wake up, then you're going to do your most important tasks. So eat the frog, meditate, go to school. Those are your 3 most important tasks that you're going to have to do through your day. So now you're kind of sleeping with logic. You kind of know these things that you need to do to move your business forward. So when you do wake up, you're going to have all these pussy emotions like, oh, I'm too tired, I don't feel like doing it. But you have this list to know what to do. So you know what you need to do. It's just kind of battling your emotions in the morning. But when you don't have a clear reason of what to do, of what you're going to do in the morning, when you have those emotions and you don't know what to do, you're just not going to do anything. When you at least have a list of what you want to do, you're more likely to do it in the morning. I remember this one time, I'm in my bed and I wake up and I grab my phone and I see that there's like these 3 points in my iPhone notes. And I see it's like record video, edit video, post video before school. And I was like, oh, I don't really want to do it. I was really tired that morning. I was being a pussy, really. But when I got into my computer chair, I was kind of like being like a zombie. I was like, do I really have to? I could just stay in bed. I could just relax. But I eventually sat down, and thankfully there was like a video already scripted for me that I scripted like a few months ago that I never really posted. I never really recorded. I ended up recording a video just because I had these notes on my phone. If I wouldn't have these notes on my phone, my emotions would have just taken over me. I would have been like, yeah, I don't feel like doing it, and I wouldn't have done it. And a mindset that's really going to help you with this is when you do wake up and you do feel tired and you do feel these emotions, just remember that even I feel these emotions. Even the successful people that you look up to feel these emotions. They don't want to do the hard work, because it is hard work for a reason, because nobody wants to do it. But the difference between the successful people and the unsuccessful people is like what they do in the morning. For example, you can almost imagine they are still human after all. I'm a human. The successful people you look up to, they're human. They wake up and they feel tired. Whenever they want to speak to a pretty girl, they still feel anxious. I do, you do, everybody does. And you need to kind of have this mindset, because we almost idolize these people thinking like they're gods, like they're never tired. They just wake up and they're hopping, they're jumping all over the place, they're all excited, they feel like working, but they really don't. So what I've noticed is the difference between successful people and unsuccessful people is like what they do after waking up. For example, successful people, they still feel these emotions, they don't want to do the work, they're human still, they don't want to do it, it's boring, it's treacherous, it's just, they don't want to do it. But they do it anyway and they get it done even when they don't feel like it. But the unsuccessful people feel this emotion. They're like, yeah, I will do it tomorrow. I'll do it some other day. And they never do any work. And you probably heard these quotes of winning the morning, winning the day. Or our life is made up of years and years are made up of months. Months are made up of days and days are made up of mornings. So when you really think about it, our whole lives are just directed by what we do after we wake up. And if we wake up and do something meaningful, doing some work and actually kind of planning what we're gonna do tomorrow, seeing what we're gonna do tomorrow, be like, oh, I don't want to do the work, but you do it anyway. You kind of have it in your mind that even successful people feel this way. But the difference between successful people and unsuccessful people is that they do the work anyway, even when they feel these emotions. They do the work that other people don't want to do. And a mindset that really helps you is like, whenever you don't feel like doing the work, always remind yourself the reason most people aren't successful is because most people don't want to do the hard work that I'm facing right now. Most people don't want to face the pain of being bored. So I'm going to do it. That kind of drives you forward. So just kind of keep these two things in the back of your mind whenever you do wake up.